Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Linda Israel, and thank you so very much for coming to my live stream here on YouTube. I greatly appreciate your support and for taking the time to come here and hang out. There are a few things that I want to go over before the actual live started, so this is a recording. First of all, I want to make sure that you like this video and subscribe, so give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell up in the corner. That way you'll get a notification whenever I upload a video. I have a broadcast post or even a live stream. If you're watching this video as a replay and you're on a computer, look for the little gear at the bottom. You can change the speed to speed it up. Or if you're on a mobile device, look for the little three dots and usually you can change the playback speed there. My live streams generally last about 2 hours. They can go as long as 3 hours. It kind of depends on what we're working on that day and how the feedback is in the chat. While you're watching, you earn junk bucks. So if you are here in order to get those junk bucks accumulating, go ahead and type hello in the chat and my little bot, Junkie Joe, will see you and then you'll start accruing junk bucks. And you're wondering, well, what do I do with those junk bucks? Well, you can accumulate those, and once you have 2,000 of them, you can type !award and you can redeem them for a $10 off coupon to my shop. You can earn junk bucks while you're here and when you are chatting, as well as when you play the in-chat game. So look for those as they come up, and if you make a donation. For those of you that make a donation during my live stream, make sure that you go over to my website at lindaisrael.com, and if you haven't already done so, create a user account. When you make a donation during my live stream, basically you're buying a membership to my website and to the live stream. In my opinion, what we're doing is you're accumulating that money in my account. Thank you for that donation. And as a reward, you will get 5% off your orders at lindaisrael.com. And during the live stream, if I have a journal that I'm giving away at the very end, you are eligible to win that journal. Anybody that makes a donation gets into that drawing by manually typing in the raffle at the end, but then you also get the discount membership on my website. Thank you to Robin, who is my administrator during the live stream. She helps me out with answering questions as well as giving information. She is also my administrator over at the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, please do. We'd love to have you over there. You're welcome to share what you're working on. Speaking of sharing, during the live today, you can speak up in the chat and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. You will not be able to share your link to your channel, but you can at least say, hey, my name is, and this is what I do. And then your friends that come into the chat can follow each other. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you will be kind to those that are here. If you have a question, put it in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those. The chat sometimes goes pretty fast, so I don't always see it, so do ask again. And at the same time, if you're in the chat and you know the answer to somebody's question, please speak up and give them the answer. Check the description box for links to products that I share today. Yes, I am an Amazon affiliate, which means I do get a commission on items that you purchase through my link. If you're going to buy something anyway, I greatly appreciate it. It does not cost you any extra. It just gives me a little bit of a commission, which helps me buy products to show you here. If you win one of the raffles, you can start right now by typing !raffle. Do make sure that you go over to my website, and if you haven't already created a user account, that way I will have your contact information so I can send you your prize. I am starting a raffle right now that is for 200 junk bucks, so you can get well on your way to accumulating your junk bucks. Let's have some fun today and let's get started. Thanks everybody for being here. Hello, hello, hello. Are we live or is it Memorex? Well, hello, Margie. I see you in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you today? I hope you are well. I've been a busy little bee this past few days. I went to a retreat. It, it wasn't a structured event, if that makes any sense. We didn't go with the idea that someone was going to do a tutorial or anything like that. It was more about, hey, fellowshipping and working on whatever projects that we may have. One gal, she did most of her stuff was all digital. She, in fact, did some work while she was chatting with us and just enjoying spending some time. And one of my friends that invited me, she worked on scrapbook layouts and she had some really pretty ones. She was going back and getting some vintage photos of her mother and her grandmother and made some really fun layouts. One of them was showing some of her mother's photos when she was probably 3 to 7, maybe 10 at the most, somewhere in there. And then another one, she did a layout that was the Red Hat Society. And that was really pretty. It had lots of fun textures and layers. And then I know she was working on one for her grandmother as well. Oh, I'm glad you are well, Margie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you here. So I've been working on trying to clean things up in my stash, use some of the things that I have. I'll show you what I took with me in that what I finished while I was there. So I had a bunch of Ziploc bags that whenever I'm done with a session with you, when you're watching me, is I grab a Ziploc type bag and then I'll just shove everything that's on my desk in it, unless I have time or feel like going ahead and kind of assimilating or is it assimilating? What's the word I want to use? Return it back to where it came, right? Trying to figure out, okay, I have this piece of paper, where should it go? And sometimes I didn't do that for a while. So I had several of these bags. So what I did was I kind of went through a few of the bags and sorted some things. So I did get some things sorted. And then I just started grabbing stuff out of there to build and make stuff. Hey, Jennifer, welcome. Margie says she's been organizing her dies. Big job. Yeah, I can imagine. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Hey, Margie. Or hey, Manda, hello. You didn't win the lottery, so you're still at work today. I understand, Manda. Julie is on a vacation. I saw her post on Facebook, and my mind is blank as to where she was, but it was beautiful. She had sent some pictures of it, what she was working on. My father-in-law bought a ticket for Henry and I. I have no idea if it won or not because he still is in possession of that. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow night. So some of the things I made this was a digital image from Calico Collage, and it was printed on textbook paper. So I had some coffee dye paper, and I love this layer of the lines on the backside. Whenever I coffee dyed a bunch of paper, I had a huge baking pan that when I layer the papers one at a time into the coffee and then let them set for, I don't remember, I may have let them set for a couple of hours. And then I would pull them out and put them on a baking sheet and put them in the oven to dry. And I like how it made these patterns on the back. So I just was layering those things together. This one was where I was using some gelatos on a oversized postcard that had been coated with some gesso, and I found a digital image. This was a lady, I don't know, 10 years ago that shared this image and said I could use it any way you wanted, that she had made a whole bunch of, and I just coated the back of the paper, the postcard. You can kind of see a little bit through it, just some white paper. And then this was a mixed media piece. You can see the watercolor of Tattered Angels on the back. This person had taken a whole bunch of scraps and then layered it onto a piece of watercolor paper. Well, I just cut it to a smaller size, and I had this 3D sticker from Seven Gypsies that I put on top of a round circle, and then I added a text. And I thought this could become a pocket. Now it's not completely finished because I want to put little tabs on there. And then I used the other half of the card, so I think it went like this when I trimmed it all up. And I thought, well, I'll make a card out of it. Now, I may not put them together in a journal, or I might, but I thought for now I'll keep them together. And I don't know where this came from. I think someone gave this to me. It was out of a book showing different types of butterflies. And I just trimmed it and put it on a piece of cardstock. And then someone had given me this card, and I just thought, well, I may end up using it in a journal together. Another idea that I was working out the gist of, the logistics, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, was I thought, well, what if I made page toppers? So the idea is, I just saw a piece of paper. Did I put it here? Oh, I did. So an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, I folded in half. I trimmed a piece of paper. It was actually a book page, and made it to where it already has some tabs all the way around so that it would fit within the page parameters. So if you look, it's just slightly smaller than an 8.5 by 5.5 sheet of paper. And this could become a big pocket, was my thinking. So on this particular one, I don't know if you can see this portion right here. This was a receipt that was in a ledger book that I found at my grandparents' home after it had been abandoned, and they were both deceased at the time that I found this, and this was crumbling. This whole side over here was brittle and falling apart, and so I just layered it up on another piece of paper, and then I found these little envelopes in one of the Ziploc bags of goodies I had, and I just cut a piece of scrap cardstock that I had down, and then I had some border butterflies that I picked up. I don't know if I bought them or if someone gave them to me, but the lowest price was 99 cents on it, and there was a bunch of these borders, and that's what this one is too. I just cut them just a little bit and then layered them together on top of here, did some embossing, and this pokes right under here, and then a little card in the back. And I thought this would be a cool way to use up some of those papers and make some page toppers that I could then add to a page anytime in the future. I did buy a rubber stamp. I spent some money. The place where we were staying was a home that had been converted. They converted the garage, although I'm not real sure if it was converted or if it was an add-on, but it would look like possibly about a 2-car sized wise garage, and they've completely finished it out, and they put in flooring, electrical in the floor, and it held 7 6-foot folding tables, and they were all set up so we can work on it. And then downstairs they had a basement area. It was kind of a split level home. When you came to the front of the house, you were on the main floor, and then you went downstairs and you could go out the back of the house and be on the ground. So from upstairs, it would look like a 2-story in the back, but it really is a split level is what we call it. Anyhow, they had a store where the lady that owned the home and owned this retreat space had some things for sale, and I just like this little rubber stamp because it had a butterfly on it. This is a postcard, and it said postage here, and I just covered it up with Be Authentic, just adding stuff to it. Here's another piece of that gelato paper that was on a oversized business card, and I just added these flowers. Another postcard that I added a piece of paper to the back, and then I added the word bloom. This was kind of interesting. It was a page that had been torn out of a book, and I liked this little image that was on there, so I fussy cut it out, and this was a scrap left over from another corner that I made, and I just kind of thought that would be a pretty little thing to put together. Oh, you've been doing some Zentangle doodles and need to clear out some space to be able to start making junk journals. Ah, got you. Well, you can use those Zentangle doodles in your junk journals, Amanda. Use those as embellishments or to need some little things. And yeah, I did spend some money. I spent, you're not going to believe it. Where'd it go? I had it laying here. I moved it. Was it here? Here it is. Okay, here's the stamp I bought, and I paid a whole $1 for it. That's all I spent. That's all I spent. And then I found these little pieces. I didn't do anything with them, but I thought I would put it with this bundle of stuff. So this is like a scorecard. And then this is also a little scorecard, but I just added it to a book page. Here is the other piece of paper that I had used to make this corner. I had a triangle wedge piece of this Italian paper, and I thought, well, I'll make a corner and make a tuck spot pocket out of it. And then I added some embossing and another one of those stickers. And then here I made my own watercolor card. I thought this was kind of a fun idea. I took some watercolor paper and sprayed it with water, and then I dipped my paintbrush in some wet watercolor paint and just kind of daubed around. Wasn't really trying to draw anything in particular, and let it dry. And then once it dried, I found these stickers and I put a sticker on there. I thought that would be a pretty little addition. Here's another page topper that I started. So this is the other half of, where is it? This receipt that was right here. So you can kind of see where I cut it. So you can see how it's all torn. And I just layered it on top of another piece of paper that was a calendar swap from 1999 that I did. And I thought, well, I've got to use this somehow. And so I cut it apart. It was a cardstock piece of paper. And then I just start collaging so it too can fit on a page. And I can make this a pocket or just glue it straight down was my thinking. And this is the other half of the calendar. You can see where it says Carolina Stampers Calendar Swap. And so June of 2000 is what she made, but it was sent to me in January of 99. I still kept that portion on there. And this was a greeting card that only had the front. I don't know where it came from. Somebody gave it to me. And so I added a pocket. These are just blank envelopes. I thought I would leave them for now because you never know. You may want to add something else to that. This piece was a napkin that I added to a book page. I just found a piece of it and used the technique of using the glue stick and adding that on. Here's a gel print. This is more of those butterfly borders. And then this was an image from a gel print I did, and I fussy cut it out and then layered it up on other papers. Here is an envelope that I did some stamping, and I had some stickers that I used. And on the inside, what did I do? I think I just, I had a little scrap of this blue paper, and so I just put it down the edge. Here's one of my little watercolor flowers that I made a whole bunch of a while back. And just did some more stamping and added a little butterfly. Had a little piece of lace that I used. On this side, I used some tickets. If you're trying to figure out a clever way to use these tickets, I layered them on top of another piece of paper so that there's a pocket here and there's a pocket here. I haven't put anything in the back pocket, but for now, I thought that would work. And then over here, I used another gel print, and then I had a scrap of paper that I stamped on top of. And then this is one of my watercolor flowers, and I did a technique where you take a stamping block and you put Distress Oxide ink on it and spray it with water and then press it to a piece of paper. And I just thought it gave an interesting texture to the paper. And then what else? Oh, I made another. This was some of that tissue paper that you lay on a piece of plastic and you use the glue, and it gives it this really cool texture. And I just added a pocket on that side and some writing space with a gel print on this side. And then on the inside, I happen to have this little pad of paper that tears off, and it has the week. So I made it to where these could be pockets over here. I don't know. It was just something to do with all the things that I had. And then this is an envelope that I thought, well, that would be kind of neat. We could glue it on the edge of a page, something like that, and then it could flip out. I don't think I put anything in the pocket yet. So that was just some of the things that I did this weekend. I also worked on a project that I haven't touched in almost 5 years, and I will bring that out in another video because I plan on doing a tutorial with some of the stuff that I did and make a cover and go with that. So that'd be kind of fun. Yeah, there goes the retirement fund. Oh, dear. Working on Halloweenish journal. Oh, yeah, it's time for that, isn't it, huh? Oh, I bet you she is having a great holiday. Julie is. So this is what we did last week. I had a big pocket that I made to go inside, or a big tag to go in a pocket, and I added too much to it so it wouldn't fit. And then this was a greeting card that I just added to the pocket because I thought it was pretty. Used a napkin here, and this was just a little envelope I made a while back, and then made a pocket over here. And this one I haven't done in a long time. Is I use all kinds of little embellishments. I use some buttons and some bling and some glitter paint over there. And then here is another pocket card, I guess you could say. It has a big pocket on it and has some journal cards. Some of them are digitals, and this one I made using up some scraps. Put this back in here. I think I'm almost to a point that what I want to make next in abundance is some writing pages. So this goes out like that, and you can write on here if you so choose, and you've got some tags on the inside and cards. And then this was the pocket that I was trying to fit that first tag in, but I made it too wide, so I made a new one, and it has a pocket on the side where you can put a few little goodies as well. And it fits in there. So I've got several pages made. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, and I also had a board that we can put in, a writing board. So I've got 7 pages made, and my cover that I want to put it in, I think we're at a point, like I said, that this should fit in here, and it may be a little bit of a gator, but I think I want to make one more decorative page, and then I'll just add a bunch of simple journal pages, just blank pages, maybe with a little bit of color on them. Put it back over here so I can get it later. So today, I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind about this one. Do I want to do this one instead? Nah, we'll do this one. Okay, so here's what I've got. I've got a book page that I have glued together, okay? And I used a strip of paper to put that together. I had some pink copy paper. I got 2 of them. And my thinking was, if I were to, I folded over a little tab. If I were to put this, come on now. I had it where I could hook it over the page. So just put that on the edge here. Line that up. Put this one over here. It's thin. Why aren't you cooperating with me? Okay. It's a thin copy paper. So I have, where is it? I have this letter stationery that I thought might look kind of pretty in the middle. Maybe we can stamp or stencil around the outside edge. And then these would then open out. And I have a bunch of little pieces. There's that kitty cat that Margie liked that we could put down. I've even got some of Calico Collage's pieces. So maybe what we should do first is decorate the edge of this piece. I think I'll leave the backside pretty plain. And I'll attach the pink to the base paper, and then I will kind of collage attach some scraps on top of there. Does that make sense? Okay. So, I've got this. I need a drink. I need a drink of water, or I'm going to get some soda this time. I'm thinking I want a stencil. And I just realized that I put all my gloves in my box that I took with me this weekend, but I didn't replace them. Let me see if they're still right here or if I have to go get some. I'm going to go get some gloves. I'll be back. Okay, got some gloves. Why did I want some gloves? Because I want to do some stenciling, probably with some, I don't know if I want to use Distress Oxide or if I want to spray it with Tattered Angels. So I'm going to set this aside. Let's get out the spray box. So if I put that in here, and then what stencil do I want? We'll grab a few of these. Since we're going to have a little border around the edge, I think this one would be kind of pretty. So you can see a little bit of that texture if we were to look at this piece. So you'll see that around the edges. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, so let me get the stencil pack out of the way. And I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get a plain piece of copy paper so that I can mop it up, and I can use that plain paper for a page when we put the journal together. All right, so I got 2 pieces of paper ready. And let's get some Tattered Angels. What color do I want? Oh, I did have some gloves in there. I wasn't sure. I have a purple. I think that one doesn't work very well. Here's a pink. This one is Party Pink. It's got a little bit of a gold mica in it. So I'm going to shake it up, baby, now. You're working on a French blue journal and you're planning a pink journal. Oh, fun! Yes, we got the kitty. Okay, I got it shook up. All shook up. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get it lined up in the middle. And then let's spray this. And then I'll lay one of these plain white papers on top of the stencil. Let it soak up that Tattered Angels that's on top of the stencil. And then I'm going to spray this side so that both sides have a little bit of something on them. And then I'm trying to get a hold of it. Come on. Come out of here. All right. So there's my pink page. And I think I'll go ahead and spray this side a little bit. So that'll add a little bit of color to that one. Set that aside. And then that's what the mop-up side looks like. I think that looks good. We'll set that over here to use at another day. Let's repeat that process again. So I'll lay that in here. Lay this on top. Get it to where it's covered. There we go. Hey, Sally, welcome. I don't know why, but I just started, many years ago, spraying the stencil and then using another piece of paper to mop it up. And I just like that look. And I feel like it gets you more bang for your buck, especially when you spray this kind of stuff. You want to make your money go as far as possible. Okay, and then let's take that out. And then I'm going to spray this side. Okay, don't need this anymore. So set that aside and get rid of my box. Clean my hands off. Take off my gloves for now. So there's the mop-up page. Yeah, sometimes I do like the mop-up page better. It just kind of depends on the pattern. Some stencils, look better in the mop-up, and some of them look better as the stencil design. So it just kind of depends upon the pattern. Alrighty, so now we got these two pieces that we need to add to here. So I think I want it where it folds in this way. So my thought was to put it on here and over here. So I'm putting it over the edge of the page, and then I'm going to close that, kind of help it, tap it down to where it is centered. All right, so now I'm going to add some glue along this edge. I added some more glue to my bottle. I need to go buy another bottle of Aleene's tacky glue. I don't have any full bottles left. All I have is bottles that I have tried to get all the glue out of it as much as possible. Okay, flip this over. Make sure that's all the way in there. I know that my friend this weekend when I was there, she has a favorite glue. I think it was Art Glitter Glue, because she likes the fine point precision tip that comes with it. But for some reason, her glue wasn't working very well. And I said, well, you may need to take the nozzle off and clean it. And that nozzle is not airtight. So air gets into your glue bottle and dries out your glue. And she goes, I never thought of that. And so she took the nozzle off to clean it, and then she was looking inside the glue, and it was all dried up inside. She had a brand new bottle to refill her squeezy bottle. And so I said, well, I suggest that you store your glue bottle in a Ziploc bag when you're done, because it's airtight and it hopefully wouldn't dry out the next time. So I don't know if she ended up doing that or not, but we talked about it, so hopefully she will. All right, doesn't that look so much prettier with the stationery on top? I think that looks really good. All right, I think what I want to do is just glue those into place. So I'm just going to use some Aleene's tacky glue to water that down. I think there's another, Jennifer, there's another retreat that's in Edmond, and you don't have to stay overnight. It is at a hotel. You just pay a fee to be able to have a table to sit and craft. And it starts on a Thursday and goes through Monday. The first day you start at 11 a.m. and it goes to midnight. And then the rest of the days, doors open at 9 a.m. and are open until midnight. I'll send you some information if you're interested. Let me know. I think I'm going to go to it. It's going to be in October. And I think there's another one that might be in January. Yeah, eat some food, right? Like spending a whole dollar to pack. Exactly. Got to get the snacks. It was funny because this weekend we opted to bring the food. The venue that we stayed, you have an option that you could pay for them to deliver food. And they did that the last time they were there, and they decided that they might like better just bringing their own food to the thing. And so we all were, chatting back and forth. And so I'm going to bring this and I'm going to bring that. And we didn't even eat half the food we brought. We brought way too much food. Okay, so now what I want to do is open this up, and I want to add some stuff to this portion. And my thinking was, I've got some of these pages from Calico Collage. So what if I were just to glue down part of this, and then I've got other little pieces here that have been decorated. I've got, a piece here, that kind of thing. Does that make sense? Maybe we'll make some pockets at the bottom. I don't know. That's what we're going to do. Zippity dippity doo dah. Peeps in, Junkie Joe, huh? Yeah, where we went this past weekend was up in Caw City, Sally, just outside of Ponca City. It was really neat. The lady has the house for sale. She's hoping that someone will buy the business and then keep it going. I don't know if that's going to happen, because unless you already live near Caw City, I don't know that you would want to own a business that you'd have to travel to go in and, whenever guests leave, you've got to go in and wash all the bedding and clean and that kind of stuff, unless you hire somebody, I guess. I don't know. If I had the money, I'd buy it, but I don't have that kind of cash laying around. We do plan to go again if she hasn't sold the place next March, I think it is. But the one in Edmond is just at a hotel, so that could be kind of fun to go to the hotel. And I'm kind of thinking maybe, and just kind of be a part of the whole thing, but not necessarily stay the night at the hotel unless you want to. I'm trying to decide if I need some more papers to go over here. I'm going to see if I have some already right here. I may have an Craft-A-Lanch. Is that it? Where is it? So I spent some time sorting papers, and I ended up putting all these strips together. And like this one has been rubber stamped on, and I think I might lay that in here. Let's see what else we have in here. Maybe I should find some lighter colors, like this white, and add that in. Let's see what else we have here. My sister used to live, in Patchy, and have family in Duncan and Piedmont. So a little bit around the whole area. It was kind of neat to drive around in that area. Okay, do I want purple? That's the same. What else do I have? I've got a smaller piece of pink. Maybe kind of do something like that. And then maybe put a piece here. And maybe what I'll do is cut this piece up here and see what else I can find. Oh, I dropped some stuff. I've got this little piece of pink. Maybe it's too much pink. Is it too much pink? Maybe. Maybe not. That piece of purple. I like that blue there. But I'm also thinking I should just put a pocket across the bottom. Oh, this one might be neat. Okay. I think I have an idea now. Using up all my bits and pieces. A piece of wallpaper. Oh, and this is kind of neat. I just stamped on some book pages just to see what it looks like. Okay. I got lots of pieces. So, I think what I'll do I want this to go that way or this way? Where I have a little piece here. And then maybe put a piece of pink here. I've got this piece that can go right here. And I've got this piece that could go here. I'm just trying to decide if I should break that up with something else. Maybe that piece. I am going to make a pocket to go across the bottom here. So I think that's what I want to do, is just kind of fill that in. So I'm going to take this piece and get a pencil. There we go. And we'll cut it right there. Any pink is too much pink, Manda. Manda's not much of a pink girl. But if it was black, you would like it, right, Manda? With some Halloween images. Okay, so if we put that right there, I think that would be good. And this one can go there. And let's glue that one down. While we're at it. And I think I can break up this pink by using this stamped piece, possibly. So let's put that right here. Make sure it's even with the edge. There we go. Okay. And then this piece, I think I want to put here. But what if we put that in the middle of that? I think that would look good. So let's glue this one down. Well, I know that Julie would like this pink. Yep, black, 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 light black. Gotta have your black. Okay, and then if we put this on top of it, it'll kind of soften how much pink we used. I think this is a fun technique, is if you've got some book page scraps, and grab some rubber stamps and just stamp a few of those. I'm going to mark this and cut it. So it'll go here. Now, do we want to go ahead and fill the whole page and then make a pocket to go on top? Or I cut it, I'm going to add some distress ink. Like so. Kind of lines that up with that edge. Okay, so then I've got this piece that I could put here. Just mark that and cut it. Pink and black. Pink, pink, pink. I think you're outnumbered, Manda. Poor Manda. Just add a little there. Put that piece here. I may go ahead and add a couple of more scraps in here. We'll see. I like all the adding the layers in. Fun, fun, fun. I do have this piece, so if I were to put it over here, like that, yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to flip it, line it up, and then we'll trim it here. I tried doing it on the back. You had pink everything, so you used up all your pink tolerance. I gotcha. I understand. Which is funny because my mom, when they decorated my bedroom when I was a little bit older, and I could kind of have a little bit of say what went in there, we ended up doing it in blue. It was a real pretty blue floral pattern that we put on the walls. So I didn't have a pink bedroom. Okay, I like that. Yeah, black is good when it's called for. I mean, yeah, because there's lots of times that I like black. You know, that black and white journal I made. The monochrome journal was mainly black and white and beige or cream colors. Okay, we got that piece. So I think I'll put this piece here just so that it fills in some of this area. Cut it. I may need a little scrap right there. Let's cut it. I'll put the smooth edge on the edge of the paper and let that other edge go up there. It needs some distressing though. Zippity doo dah, you hide all your pink. I like pink. I don't have that much pink, but I do like it. There for a little while at our old home when we lived in Oklahoma City, we bought a comforter bedding set, and it had a dark forest green and it had a burgundy floral you know, pink and burgundy pattern. And so I took that color scheme and I looked for a burgundy paint. It was supposed to be, I think it was called cranberry. It was a dark, supposed to have been dark, almost a dark burgundy. But when we put it on the wall, Henry called it, I can't say the other, so I'm going to say a house of ill repute color. It was a bright pink. It was not what we had expected it to be when I started putting it on the wall. And so I put one coat on, and then I put another coat on, and it was still pink. It's like, oh, no, no, no. We can't have that. Okay, what did I just do with that? It was funny. Let's see if this... I've got this little piece. I could put that right there. I'm just filling in all the spaces. There's the pencil. Oh. Ba, ba, ba. Right there. Did I mark it? Yes. Hides all the pink. So Henry had enough of the pink. Years later, when we moved into this house, I painted the bedroom yellow once. And then a little bit later than that, we decided to paint the walls a dark purple and painted the ceiling a dark gray. It's almost black because we like our bedroom not to have a lot of light in it when we're sleeping. And that's where it has stayed for a while. It's about time to paint again, probably. All right. I feel like it's better to just go ahead and cover the whole thing. That way, you know, all the pieces are covered up. All right, give that a moment to dry. I think I'm going to go ahead and turn it over and just do the same thing on the other side. I've got another one of these, and I have some pink paper here that's been painted. Now, should I cut this and then collage it on, or just collage it on? I could change it up a little bit. I've got this kind of a woven fabric pattern. I could put that there. And I've got this, it's like a little faux receipt on some copy paper. If I put that there, and then put this below, or should I do it in reverse? Because I was going to cut off just a little bit of that bottom. There you go. Pull out. Your walls are white, but not even moved in 25. Never painted anything. You could stamp the walls. Why not? Here's another thing you could do. You could stamp on pieces of paper and then glue those pieces of paper to the wall. That would look really cool. Maybe that'll be something I'll do in my next life. All right, I'm trying to decide what I want to do here. I don't know if I want that much of the ruffles. I think we could go here. I could move it up a little bit and leave this piece intact and then put this piece across. But I also feel like it needs to be broken up a little bit, not be so much of the same pattern. So, what if we put this up here? I've got a piece of this. Then, if we did, do I want to do a whole piece? Or I could cut it to here and then put this in the corner over it. And then just fill this space in. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. So, first, I'm going to glue down this piece. Yes, you can step kitties all over and confuse the heck out of Cupcake. There you go. That's what Margie said. Jennifer wants to stencil on her bedroom floor. Oh, yeah. You just have concrete now? I do recommend that before you do anything, make sure that you go get a sealant paint. You put the sealant paint on the concrete first. It's kind of a primer slash sealant. Then you're going to paint your design. And once your design is painted, stenciled, then you're going to coat the floor again with a clear sealer. That was the mistake I made in the craft space that I did up at the shop, is I did not have another sealer once I painted the design, and so it just wore out. You know, it's got worn spots, and then if anything got spilled on it, it kind of ruined it. It's like, oh my gosh, this is a mess. All right, so do I want to kind of overlap it? Yeah, I think so. Add some distress ink to this piece. So instead of cutting it, I'm just going to glue it down and let it overlap on here. Yeah, do it. Make your house your own. It's only paint. Exactly. Exactly. You know, I was talking to a former coworker, and she was also a friend, and she hated the carpet in her house. And I said, well, rip it up. It's your house. And she goes, yes, but that will ruin the resale value. And I said, who cares? When do you plan to sell your house? And when you go to sell your house, how many people out there, if there's already carpet in the house, unless it's just pristine, perfect, leaves the carpet and doesn't replace it with something new? I think almost everybody, when you buy a new home, new to you home, if you don't like the carpet, you rip it out and you put something else down. So I said, quit worrying about what other people would want on the chance that you might sell your house. I don't know if she ever ended up painting the floor or taking the carpet up or whatever. Amanda says she's never regretted any of the personal touches I have added, including the glitter molding on one wall with a mural in your craft room. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, I've got some pieces that I custom made for our living room that I am been considering changing out, since I have tons of photos that I have taken over the years, especially of flowers in my own garden. So I've been thinking about picking a few of those photos and either having them professionally printed on canvas or printing them and doing a collage with them on a canvas, and then place those where I have these other pieces that I made years and years and years ago. I'm still contemplating what I want to do and how big I want to make it, or if I want to do a long, narrow piece, or if I want to do 3 canvases that are 16 by 20. I haven't decided yet, so that's part of the reason why I haven't done anything. Been thinking about it, though. All right, we got that on there. And I think we could get away with putting this over here. I want to cut it off there, and I want to cut it off here. So get my paper cutter and cut away. What else? I think that's about it. I got home yesterday from my retreat thing around 5 o'clock, and then Henry helped me unload my car, and then I proceeded to put things away as best as I could because I knew I had my live stream today. I was like, okay, I've got to work as quickly as possible and put everything back where it belongs. I still have a mess. I have a box over here that I didn't put away all the contents. That's where I got these strips that I'm using from. Okay, I think I'll put that there, like that. Oh, cool. So Jennifer says her niece had pictures printed on something called tiles, and she made her own grouping for her living room. Well, see, that may be another idea where I just print all the different flowers in different sizes and then kind of make a grouping out of them. I could frame them. I could cut them, print them in different sizes and mount them on canvases, and then just kind of do a little collage of the images. That's an idea. I've got a coupon related but not related. I got a coupon to get a photo book made, and I think that same website, if you upload photos, you can have different sizes of prints made on canvas or just printed all together. So maybe I'll look at what they have. All right, so this one I think I'm just going to let it overlap a little bit, and we may end up mounting something on top of that. The goal is to cover all the paper. I like that idea. I think a pic collage in a sense, but instead of it being, a 8 by 10, I would make all of the photos different sizes and group them on the wall. I think I got an idea now. Oh, looky there. This piece will fit there. That rhymed. Oh, looky there. This piece will fit there. Cut this off. Okay. Now, I can glue this piece in. All right, here we go. I had a little bit of distressing to this one. There. So I filled in all the book page with other things. See, I have this image. It's a peacock that we could turn into a pocket on here. Let's see. I think I want to fold these in. I'm sure I got it to where it's not. Okay. Okay. Trying to get it to smooth out. Okay, so for example, on this page, maybe what I'll do is make a big pocket, or another is, I was thinking of taking this kitty and putting it on top of the hymnal and making a pocket out of that. I think that would be really pretty on here. Yep. Okay. I've got scraps. I got scraps. Ooh, I wonder. Ooh, look at that. Use some of that pink. Okay, I'm going to set that there for right now. All right, so I know that this is really fragile, and I want to put this all together So I'm going to get a larger book page. Let's see if this is big enough. And let's see here. If I were to glue this on top of here, and then I can fold the edges in, or it might be better to have a border. So do we want a white border, or should we just have it to where it's the straight? I think I like the border a little bit. Even if I line it up over the book page where you can't see it. I kind of like that idea of having a border around. Yeah, no one knows anything about your kitty obsession. None whatsoever. Margie does not like cats at all. I think I have an idea. I think what I'm going to do is glue it down on top of here, and then I'm going to leave a little small border. So say it'll end up looking like that around here, because it doesn't need to be that deep. And then the excess will fold to the back so that we can use it as a pocket. It makes perfectly good sense to me. I don't know if it does to you. Margie doesn't like kitty cats at all. Okay. So if I do this right, I'm going to line it up best I can with the text on here. Some of it will still peek through. I'm going to flip it over. This hymnal is rather fragile, so smooth it out this way. And before I get too committed to this, so my thinking was to leave a little bit of a gap. That should be enough. And I'll score this. And then I'll flip it around. And lining it up with the clear opening here and scoring it. Oh, that's too far. I want to score it this way. Wrong way, Linda. All right, and then I did that one, so we need to do this one. Where we line that up here. Now we'll score here. And then we're going to line this up and score it. There. Okay. So now, make sure I did the right one. Okay. So if I cut the corners here and there, get rid of that. All right, so let's test it. So all of these are going to get folded in, and we'll decide here in a moment if we want it to be a top-loaded pocket or a side-loading pocket. And then this will be glued on top. Does it need another layer? I'm kind of thinking maybe. Let's see. Let's see what this looks like. If I were to put that over the sheet music, is that too much? I don't know. I feel like I need another layer underneath. I could put... Does it need the doilies? Is that what it needs? Let's add some distress inks to this outside edge while I contemplate this, right? Anti-feline. Doesn't spoil them at all. You don't like them, but they seem to love you. More kitties. When I was staying at this house this weekend, I'm still trying to keep my goal of getting a minimum of 10,000 steps a day. And one of the days, the weather was so pretty out, I went outside and I walked around in the neighborhood behind this house. In one of the yards, I walked up, down the sidewalk. Their dog, it was a black with a white spot. I call it, it looks like an English wolfhound. I don't know if that's exactly the correct breed, but in my opinion, that's what it looked like. She had that shaggy kind of hair, that long wolfhound nose and beard on her. And I think she was a puppy. I think she was really young, because when she got to me, she stuck her nose on my leg and then she proceeded to piddle on the ground, and then kind of rolled over a little bit like she was trying to submit to me. And I'm like, but I'm not trying to dominate you, doggy. And I said, well, you're really pretty. Thank you for saying hello to me. And I patted it on the head. And I said, okay, I'm going to keep walking. You be good. I'll see you when I come back around. And so when I came back around, that dog was laying right next to the sidewalk waiting for me. Can you believe it? And I kept walking around, and I was going a long ways from where she lived to where I was staying. And she followed almost to the backyard of the house I was staying in. And thankfully, all of a sudden, I see her. She looks up, and she's going out in the field there chasing grasshoppers. And then I kept kind of walking and looking back, and she cut across this area there were some houses, but they don't have fences on all of them. And so she was cutting it back across, which is where she lives. But it was kind of interesting to see her. She was like, hello, how are you? What are you doing? I'm like, well, you're sweet. And just followed me. Like, she'd romp around. And then she would jump on a grasshopper, because I would see her out of the corner of my eye. She'd run up and then pounce on a grasshopper. And then she'd chase it for a little while. And then she would come back around and get up beside me and follow me for a little while. I was like, oh my gosh. She was in love. Maybe what I need is to make these doilies pink. Right, Amanda? They need to be pink, don't they? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spray them. Get the tattered angels out. Yeah, that dog was in love. She just wanted to be with me. She was such a sweetie. She needed a bath, but she was a sweet dog. I thought if she was going to keep following me, I said, how am I going to explain to Henry I'm bringing a dog home? Okay, I'm just doing a real light pink. I'll have to dry it so that it won't smear. So get my heat tool here. Pink, pink, pink. What else? Oh, so this place that we stayed is called the Relaxy Pad. It used to have a different name, and she's changed the name, but she also changed the name around the same time that she put the property up for sale. She really loves Friends. That's one of her... Just messing with you, Amanda, that's all. She really loved Friends. So all throughout the house, she had a friend saying. She painted the door in the craft room the same configuration that they have in Friends, where they have the little picture frame where the peephole is. I mean, there was a lot of things in there. And another thing, this lady, I guess, collected frogs. There were frogs of all sizes all over this place. I'll have to post some pictures. And another thing that she did was she bought these tiny, tiny little frogs. They were like 1 inch tall. And she would hide them around the house. And as a guest, the challenge was to grab the frog and then put it on this little shelf and share how many you found. And I know we found like 25 or 30 of these little frogs. Okay, I think that looks good with the pink. And I'm going to offset it just a little bit. I think that looks really good. Okay, so now we need to glue this down. Add little dot, 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 dot. Now, I think I'm going to go with a side load, because if we want, we could make like a journal or a folded card. Maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll make a folded card to put in the pocket. Isn't that pretty with the pink on there? And there are 2 different patterns, which I thought was just perfect for this. So she had little frogs all over the place. She had a frog soap dispenser. She had frog light switches. She had a frog lamp. You know, I mean, she had stuffed, fluffy, plush frogs all over the place. It was really cute how it was done. Okay, I think I'm going to glue this down with some beacon glue. This one should be almost empty. I've been trying to use it up. I used quite a bit of it this weekend, trying to use it up out of this last little bottle here. I've got a brand new bottle laying here ready to be opened. Put some on here. Yeah, I agree with that statement, Margie. All right, let's put that right here. Press that down. Okay, so this page goes this way. So I'm going to glue down this little tab like that. I think what I want to do next is get a piece of paper to make a pocket. I mean, a card to go in the pocket. Oh, we could use that. I like this. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. This one. I've got some cardstock here. So do I need to trim it down? Yes, a little bit. So I think, let me measure. This is 8 1/4. So let's just go under 8 and cut off the excess here. And this measures 5 1/4. So I think we could get away with going ahead and leaving this at 5 1/2. Then it will stick out the front just a little bit. Put my pencil back. Move this out of the way. We can test drive it and see if we like it. All right, so the idea is that this would go in here and on here like that. So it'll stick out just a little bit. I think that works. Let's go ahead and glue this piece down. She had such neat little touches all throughout the house. One bedroom had 5 beds. I think that's right. And then one bedroom had 3 beds. And then 2 bedrooms had 2 beds. And there were 3 bathrooms in the house as well. So it was set up. I don't know if I did enough beds there, but it was set up for 12 people that could have a place to stay. And then there was 12 folding tables that were put together so you could set up to do scrapbooking, quilting, whatever kind of little craft you like to do. She had some tools that you could borrow if you wanted. So, you know, decorative edge scissors or hole punches, that kind of stuff. She had cutting mats, you know, if you needed a like the one I have here. I need some lotion on my hands. It's a no for you on frogs and roaches. Yeah, we don't want the frogs and roaches. Well, the frogs would eat the roaches. All right, so if I were to put that, is that too much of the wrong thing? I may trim it a little bit so we have more of a equal border. I saw this piece. If we did a border of that, I'd cut this one down some more. Or I could do this, just put part of it up high and put this down low, and then I don't have to cut it. I think I like this idea better. Look at that. I think that would be pretty. So I'm going to add some distress inks on this piece. She had a little outdoor deck, and there was a couple of chairs on that. She had a large dining room table, although you'd have to pull it out from the wall because where it was, you couldn't get in at the table very well. It was too close to a wall. And each bedroom had some really pretty bedding. I don't know, she made it really cozy. Apparently she's owned the place for really close to 10 years. And she's wanting to spend more time with her family because on some of the retreat stays, she provides food. And we decided for our group to forego her bringing the food because she was bringing food every day. And I was told, it really wasn't any extra food. It was all exactly how much would be needed for the people who were there. And they all decided that it would just be better if they did their own food because then, you know, there was leftovers. So if you wanted to eat something for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, you would have lots of options with the variety of things we had talked about bringing. I ended up bringing food home. We had too much. Okay, so if I put this piece up here like that, and then again, put this one over here, I can look for a sentiment to put up here too. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this in place. Unless we should do it the opposite. We could do it this way. That may be what I do, because then I could paste the little sentiment on the pink area or down here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, this is going to go on the bottom. I changed my mind. It happens. It happens. It's my prerogative. I get to choose what I do. All right, leaving a little bit of a white border. Kind of getting that up there. All right, let's smooth it out. Smooth it out. Got a knot or something in there. Okay. And then we're going to put this one in the opposite corner. Yep. And see it? The dark was down here. I don't know. I should have done that to begin with. Sometimes you got to look at it more than once and see what are the options. What are the proper ways to put it together? And I like the eclectic, you know, using that Victorian little kitty cat there and then using this watercolor looking image here. Get rid of some extra glue. All right. Words, words, words. I have stamped a bunch of words, but I need to work on adding some distressing to them. So has to live your best life. And that can go right here. Like that. Simple. Y'all still with me? I don't see anybody in the chat saying anything other than frogs and roaches. Oh, I didn't show you my nails. They're glitter. Where's Glitter? Where's Michelle? She's not here. She's probably watching her other friend. Short Bus, I think was. I need to go see what Short Bus does. Okay. I like it. And this will go right here. That's pretty. Okay. I think over here or in here. Let's see. I think I want to put this one on this pink paper. I may cut it just a little bit. I could put a sentiment at the bottom. Let's see what we have. Oh, this one's a nice one. Today is full of possibilities. I think that's what I want to do. Show us those nails. You're here. Jennifer's there. There's my nails. They have glitter on them. They're sparklies. Yeah, really? Well, if it was Hercules, he will, well, not recently, but because he doesn't really care to ride in the car anymore because he can't see that well. But he would sit in my lap and put his nose on the window so there was little nose prints. All right, I think what I want to do is I put this here, and I'll make this another big pocket. Is that pretty? I think that looks good. I'm going to put some distressings on the pink. That's I can't get the words out. A gel print. You like it? You like it? You like it? You love it? You want more of it? I like that gold over the pink. So basically I had gel printed something gold. So that was on the plate. And then I went in and gel printed with the pink, this other pattern. And I think I lifted the whole thing in white. And it gets really quite pretty. And it was on the back side of some green scrapbook paper. All right, so I'm going to put this so I can have little tabs to make this a pocket. Yeah, the memories of the nose prints. He doesn't quite like sitting up that high anymore. He'll usually, I have a dog bed in the car whenever we go to the shop from the house, and he'll just lay down in that bed. But it used to, he would climb over in my lap and stick his nose on the window, little nose prints. He's sound asleep behind me right now. I'm going to trim off this excess because I don't need all that. Don't need all that. Just a little bit of a border. And then I've been saving these little pieces and doing things like this. I sprayed it with some Tattered Angels and then stamped on it a few times and then stuck it aside in a little baggie. See, there's some more and some blues. And teal colors. This one I could even stamp as white, so and not change the color of it. So another idea to use up all those scraps. Just stick that in that envelope. And maybe what I take to the next retreat is more of those types of things so I can prepare them to be used. And I may do some, I don't know, I call it it's a faux Franken page because I'm using a base page and then gluing all the pieces on top of it. All right, see if I can flip it to the back. Okay, and then this way. I don't know how big this one is. I didn't measure it. We'll see. Gotcha. Yeah. Margie says, I have lived a good life in my memories of those nose prints rather than silly trips around the world. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, the memories we make sometimes are the simplest. Like a little critter putting a nose print. Hercules now, what he does is he'll be walking around and I try to get where he can sense where I am as he's losing his eyesight, and he'll boop my leg with his nose. He'd be like, boop, I'm right here, boop. So I know you're there. Should we put a little piece of lace? Oh, I've got this piece. I wonder if that's too much because it's white on white. Yeah, that's too much. Okay. I think we'll just put that here. All right, so this is a gel print, so I'm going to need the Fabri-Tac beacon type glue. So let's glue this. This is another one of Norella's images. I think it was a freebie that she had once. And I just love this peacock. And I thought, well, I'm going to use it in this journal. Let's see, I'm trying to reach. Margie, you really should stop pressing your face against the windows by now. Let me repeat that. Amanda Dawn says, Margie is feline family, aka Fifi. Margie, you really should stop pressing your face against windows by now. Margie says, I can't help it. It's so much fun. Oh, y'all crack me up. Oh, dear. I can just see Margie mushing her face. I can't stop laughing. Oh, dear Lord. Please help us. Oh, I just stuck my thumb in glue. Ah. All right. Don't mess up. Don't mess up. Don't mess up. There we go. Wipe it off. All right, it's time to change the channel. The insanity has begun. Oh, dear. You know, silly things that happen in cars. I have to bring one up. Back in the year 2000, yes, the year 2000. So y'all do the math. That was 25 years ago. A friend of mine and I drove from Oklahoma all the way up to about Cincinnati, Ohio. It's a 17-hour drive from where we drove. Because that's 5 and a little. So if we do 5 inches or do 5 and a, and that's 8.5. So we could do another folded paper. Anyhow, so we drove the 17 hours to Cincinnati, Ohio, and I had a minivan at the time. A friend of mine that was going to Art Continuum in Ohio needed some help with transporting some of her display because she was going to have a booth at the convention sale floor. And I took out almost all of the back seats in my car because I was worried that she was going to need me to haul a lot of things, and I wanted her to have the space to put it in there. Well, it turns out I only had to take one very small thing, and so I took my seats out pretty much for nothing. I could have left them in there. This is an important backstory, y'all. That's why I'm telling you. So we get there and we're doing the Art Continuum 25 years ago, and we have a break in the schedule. The idea was is you booked online a workshop that you wanted to go to, and you paid your fee, and then from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. you were in that workshop. And then when that workshop was over, some people would go straight into another workshop. Some people would take a break and go sightsee in the area. Well, that's what I did with a few other ladies. And I say ladies because there were many people that got in my minivan that did not have a seat. They were sitting on the floor. So they're all sitting on the floor, and we're trying to use, I can't remember if back then if we had, we had navigation, but the navigation was telling me to go a different place, and there was an accident in front of us, and it was blocking the whole road, and according to what we figured out, it was going to be blocked for a really long time, and we needed to get going. So I watched as another vehicle pulled off the interstate, or I think it was a state highway, into the median, and then basically did a U-turn to go back the way they came. And I saw a car do that. I saw a truck do it, and I saw a car do that. And I said, well, my minivan can do that. And I said, all right, y'all hang on. And so I went four-wheel riding down the hill and over to the other side. And one of the girls says, hang on to your tutus, ladies, here we go. See, I'll always remember that. It was hilarious. We were a menace. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to put on here, though. Let's see what we got. Oh, I have another one of these images. Oh, and I have these, I think I may want to put some stickers on here. Let's see. These are a 3D sticker. Wouldn't that be kind of pretty if it went off the page? I'm going to get one out. So here's Linda in my Oldsmobile Silhouette. It was a 1990-something model. And we went four-wheeling. Do I want to go up high or low? I think I want up higher, right about here. Or we could put it this way. But I don't want it to stick to the... So I'm going to go this way. And leave it where I can see the peacock. We had fun. We had fun, let me tell you. So I think I'm just going to glue this on here, and that'll be pretty as a little cover. But let's trim it down. I think I want to trim the bottom. Yeah, let's trim the bottom, because I like the way these little flowers look up here. The stories that we have to share, huh? Back when in our younger days, 25 years ago. driving 17 hours. That week was one of my memorable art community weeks that I will always remember. And it's still, like, wow, that was 25 years ago. I did make kind of a memory book. I took lots of photos with a film camera and put those photos into a journal where I hand wrote some of the events, and then some of it I typed on my computer and printed it. Nothing, elaborate, just pretty bare bones pages with text and the photos. It wasn't a junk journal that we decorated, if that makes sense. And every once in a while, I'll come across it, when I'm rearranging things. I'm like, oh, I was trying to see if I see it right now, but I think it's over at a different spot. But I'm like, oh, look at this. And I'll flip through it and read. And I don't know, little moments like that in life are what we live for, right? Hey, Hercules, what you doing? He's got this reversed sneeze sound. You okay? I may need to take him outside, so bear with me a moment. You okay? You want to go outside? You want to go outside? Yep, he perked up. All right, say hello, everybody. There's Hercules. We're going to go potty. We'll be right back. I'm going to let him out. Okay, I put him outside so he can walk around and take his time. He's an old man. He's got to go more often. Yeah, the film camera. I still have my film camera. It was a really nice Pentax. I still have it. All right, I think I'm just going to glue this on directly like it is. He's getting so old. He was 16 on August the 31st. He's my old man. He's been doing that kind of a cough thing, and when I talked to the vet, they were saying it was more like a reverse sneeze, but I don't know. I'm concerned that he's got something else going on. Seems like there's always something, right? Especially when they get old. I think for now, I'm not going to add anything to the inside, but we could add more pages, but it's white. See how I did that? We said mostly white. Well, that's white on the inside. Okay, I like that. That is so pretty. I'm glad y'all talked me into doing this. Is it crazy expensive now? I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time. Okay, we got those two sides, and we got this portion started, but I don't have anything really for in here yet. So let me look at the basket of goodies. Set that over here. Okay. Well, I need the edge for that one. There's a journal card that could be used. That's a different size pocket. We have one of these we could use. Oh, I've got matching of those. What else do we have in here? I've got this love card. Some more of those scrapbook papers. I've got the word bloom we could turn into a pocket. Some scraps of papers. We got more of these bigger pockets. I think maybe, okay, let's go with, what if we were to put these here and over here like that? And then I've got this journal card that we could put in the pocket. And then I've got this card we could put in the pocket. I thought I had more cards, but that seems weird that I don't have. I have this little pocket that I could put. I haven't glued it together yet. But what if I were to put it here? And then let's see if I've got, that may be too short. It gets lost in there. But we could do a little bit bigger card. I think that would be pretty there, like that. Okay, what else we got here? And I've got this piece. It's just a pre-printed card, but we could stick that in there. And what else do I have? Oh, wait, let's look at the cards I made. Where did I put those? Here they are. Let's see if there's anything in here. Maybe we would use something here. That's why I made these, right? So maybe not the blue. I don't know that that goes. Not that one particularly. We could do, because that it changes the whole vibe. Now, if I were to swap that corner pocket out and put that in, I may do that. I think I like that look. And it gives it more of an eclectic look. And then I've got this pocket that I could put over here. Yep, that would fit if it was a pocket. I think this one may be too wide, but it'll be close. I could put it behind like that. Another thing we could do is put down that as a pocket. And then when you take this card out, you could see that moth behind it. The yellow flowers or the butterfly? What now? I missed it. You found some old rolls and it was $24 per roll. They can only print them in black and white and no money back if your film doesn't develop. Wow. Wow. Crazy. Crazy. I kind of want this one, I think. And I may still use this card and this card. I think that's what I want to do, is use some of those. I think that'll work. That'll work. That'll work. All right. Put this back in the Ziploc baggie, and let's see if I can find a card that will go in there out of this mess. Okay. What do I have? I've got this. We could put it that way, where it's coming out the top. I am beautiful, ambitiously tough, Oh, I am a beautiful, ambitiously tough woman. So we could put that in the pocket, even if it sticks out the top. I don't know if y'all can see that because it's out of the camera view. I may change that to something. I could rotate it this way, I think, but I need to trim it. So that one's too big. But I do have these pieces that we could put in there. They're square, and testing to see if they kind of stick down in so you can't see them. What else do I got that I can use? That one's too tall. I have a little envelope, and it would barely stick out. What I could do is glue the bottom down a little further up so it would stick out the top just a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. I got a plan. Let's put these back. And I don't think I want to use that unless we use them. No, I think this is good. I used something out of my box of pre-made stuff. Okay. We got a plan. We got a plan. First, I am going to glue this rose on top of that gel print mixed media paper. I don't know which it is for sure, because I can't tell. It has texture to it, so I can't tell if it was one of those things where I painted through the stencil or if I used a gel plate. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this portion kind of down, coming up a little bit, and then the tabs. So what will happen is this envelope won't go down all the way into the pocket. And we're going to position that somewhat in the center. So if I did it right, it'll just kind of barely stick out once this is dry. All right, so then this corner, I'm trying to see if I need to smooth that out because it's catching here. So what I might do is put down a piece of tape. Got some clear tape. Put that over because it's catching right there. And then let's test it. That seems to work better. Okay. And I'm going to glue that right in the corner so that it doesn't go all the way to the edge, because we've got plenty of room there. All right. I think Hercules just came in, so I'm going to go shut the back door. Good boy. You made it back inside. All right. Come on. Come in here. He's walking around. Don't mind me. I'm just talking to myself. All right, let's glue this down. See, I'm glad I made these this past weekend. The little pocket here anyway that I'm working on. All right. And then this is going to go in that pocket. This one I need to make a gusset, so I'm going to get a book page. And we're going to glue those together. The color was splashed out there. Okay. So we're going to take this, which is going to need the beacon glue, and glue it down so I can make a gusset. Right to the edge. Hold the bottle. All right, so I'm going to go kind of in the corner here, away from the edge, like that. And then I will trim this piece. And I've just created more scraps. They keep multiplying. What? I never talk to myself. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Oh, hush. I don't know what you're talking about. That's just rubbish. All right, scissors. And let's use this foam folder. Okay, let's cut these like so. Glitter's here! Hello! I'm so glad you're here. We were thinking about you. Okay, so now this piece, go ahead and fold the edges over. Pull this one over. Come here. Okay, we're getting there. I think we need to put something on these pink pages. I'm trying to decide for how far in I want to do it. I think like that, where this is still visible. So let's glue this pocket down. Glue it down. It's about time. Oh, you met your hubby and you walked to your car park. Oh, nice. That sounds wonderful. Because it's pretty weather right now in several places. All right, so I want it to come down just a smidge. There we go. Get that placed. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so these two pieces are going to go in that pocket. This one's going to go in this pocket, and this one's going to go in this pocket. But I'm going to give it a little bit of time to dry the glue. So I want to put something on here. My paper curled a little bit because of gluing the stationery on it. So I'm just kind of help it along a little bit. So what could we put over here? I don't know if we want to maybe just find a little image. Oh, I have this. Oh, and I have this and this and this and this. So should I just put a peacock? I like it. Just right in the middle. I think that would be pretty there. All right, let's do it. We're getting that white back into it, toning it down a little bit. I think that looks good. Now we didn't put any sentiment. This one says Lily on it. So let's see what we have phrase-wise. how about be true to who you are, or expect great things. What else we have here? My thoughts linger here. How about that one? Now, should it go here or should it go up there? What do you think? Up at the top or down here? I think I'll put it down here. Let's put this one back. For now, anyway. Okay. You should have watched while your chiropractor going poop poop. They would be asking, what is this? What is this stuff that you are watching? All right. Pop that into place. I don't know that this is dry enough yet, so I'm just going to flip it over for the moment. Now, I have this big rose. I have one in white and one in ivory. I have a smaller one. Can y'all see that? Let me move this over out of the way. So when we flip this one over, I could put this at the bottom or in the corner. I was thinking at the bottom. And I could glue it to where you could tuck something behind there. I need to really curl that page back the other direction. What do we say? What do we say? I'm trying to see if I found anything else that we could do instead, in place of. I think I'm going to go with the white one as opposed to the ivory one. I could do. Now it's too big. No, too small. Just right. Okay, let's glue that down. I don't know if I'm going to take the time to find a card to put in or not right now. Card or something, maybe? Let's glue that down. I have this that I stamped, but I think we would need to add another layer of color. Let's see. Nothing there. Nothing here. I guess I've used almost all of those pieces I've made. That just amazes me that I used all of them. I see some of the bigger pieces I have, but I may use those somewhere else. I've got this is an envelope. Maybe what I should do is look here at other things I have. No, it's just a Mother's Day card. I was trying to see if I saw something that was like, oh, they used that. Ooh, what is this? Oh, I have an idea. Okay. I have this. It is some flowers. We could mount that onto a bigger card so that when it's put in here, and then we'd have this piece behind and maybe an envelope like that. Okay. So this paper is offensive on that side. But I could put that on here, and then I could cover this with a white. It's not quite big enough to make a folded card. Okay, so let's do this. First, what I need to do is I don't really care for the rest of it, but I could make a pocket on the card. That's a thought. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave some space here. About like that. And then I'm going to come in just a smidge and score here. If I can get it to fold. So if I were to cut this piece, so I'm going to cut this piece off. And we're going to cut this one at an angle. And cut this one at an angle. And then if we glue these together, now we have a pocket here when we put it on this piece. Yeah? I think that's what I want to do. Okay. I'm doing it. You needed you. Fussy cut flower. No, I'm not going to fussy cut them. I'm going to leave them as I'm going to make a pocket out of it. I do want to come in just a smidge on this pink. Save that for another day. This was just out of one of my random bags of scraps that I have saved. So this is perfect to use it. Okay, now I think if I mount it on the white, that would give the back a prettier than that green. Or should I leave it green? Make a white bordered card for the pocket on the front. So this part will, you can put stuff in like that. Shoot, I could even leave it that big, but that I was trying to break up the white. I kind of like that. Let's contemplate it while I put some distress ink on there. Math question. We have a few here. What's all going on? Where's everybody? We're missing some peeps. All right, I got that distress. Now let's do this piece. And I think I'll go ahead and glue the floral image on top. And y'all can let me know if I should just go ahead and glue that card on there like it is, or if I should trim it down. So first, we're going to glue here. All right, now I'm going to go up here and glue this whole piece down. Okay. All right, so now center it as best I can. Uh-oh, Margie's being bugged. Tell them spam callers to leave you alone, right? I don't think I got that very straight, but it's okay. I don't know. I think maybe I may put it right at the center top like that, because that gives us a nice large card on here. And I could, in theory, put these items in the pocket behind that. See? See? Hey, Leah, wait. Hello. How are you? What, you see you like it? Okay, good. I think that's what I'm going to do. Got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. So, we'll glue it, and then I can add some distress inks to it. All right. Cool, cool, cool. How has everybody been? I didn't really ask. How's everybody doing? I'm doing all right. Just, I really enjoyed my little retreat in a sense. I slept okay. There was a couple of times where my hip was bothering me, but I just had to adjust some pillows on the bed, and that made it feel better. We had so many different types of food to eat. It was yummy. Trying different foods and whatnot. One of the girls made a chicken dish, chicken and rice and yellow corn, and then she had this sour cream sauce that went with it, and she used curry, and there was another spice called, I took a picture of the bottle, I think it was called tahine. Where is it? I took a picture of the bottle somewhere. Here it is. Tajin. It's supposed to be kind of a Mexican spice. It was really good. So I need to send her a message. I'd like to have that recipe and see how we would make it, because I'm sure it's one of those things that you can look at what you have in your cabinet and add stuff to it, and it would be awesome. Yeah, hip pain's no fun. Oh, thank you. You like to not fussy cut, and the page that with that kind of a orangey pinky. It's actually why is it showing orange? It's pink. I don't understand why. Is it this one? I have to look to see which one it is. Okay, no, that was me. So I need the other camera, which is this one. Settings, because that is not orange. It's more, do I need to brighten it? It's pink. Do we need to go contrast? No. Saturation. Go back. Go forward. Okay, we're going to go back. I think that's better right about there. It's kind of a mauve pink. And I know it's bright white, so it's kind of flashing out a little bit. You want to ask a math question, but there's nobody else here? Well, you can ask it. I don't know who's going to answer it. I could put tahine in just about everything. Yeah, I think we're going to have to get some and try it out in our cooking, because that's not something we've ever used, and I think Henry might like it. Okay, I like that. Now, do we want to put some kind of sentiment here? Oh, that's the wrong thing. I could look at my big stamps and see if there's one that we have a sentiment that we think we want to use. I'm looking for the word journal. I stuck some in here, but now I don't see it. That's usually how it goes, right? Can't find the thing that you want when you want it. There it is. I don't think I have one in a craft color. So maybe if we found a pink to put behind the word journal. I'm also kind of thinking maybe I want a different word phrase. Used to dip fruit in chamois, then sprinkle. Okay, and that's somebody else that she said you could put on the fruit, and that it was really good on the fruit. So okay, I'm gonna get some. I'll go pick some up at the next time we go to the grocery store. I'll order it. Oh, I do have a little piece of this pink. So if I were to do that, that would be pretty on there. 4 people watching, but only likes. How many likes do we need to catch up with the people watching? It comes and goes. We need a few more people, right? All right, and then put this here. Okay, I like that. Okay, add some distress inks to this piece. Let's move this down. Almost done. I think like that. And then these, I think the envelope needs some distressing. Maybe I could stamp on it. I'm going ahead and doing the back of it, but if I were to put these in here, kind of sticking out maybe. There. Let's glue this together and put it all together. We need to get back to more likes to get back to 4. You want to make it an even number? Go tell your friends to come in and like this video for me, please. I hope y'all are enjoying this. I hope you've laughed along with us. If you weren't here during the live and you watched this in an instant replay, I hope you enjoyed that it made you smile. You had some fun watching the video. Maybe you also were inspired. You got some ideas that you can give a try. See, that'll stick down in there, and then this will go here, and then these 2 pieces will go in here. Look at that. All right, so let's close it all up. And I guess we started with this side on decorating, and I still have this piece. I'm going to save it. So we have this side that we added a journal card to the inside. I didn't add anything to the inside of that. 11 is your favorite number? Thank you so much, Leah. Thank you. And then we flip this over, and I added this stationery. It's flashing out again. Stop it. I don't like it. You're not making this right. Okay, brightness. Let's go maybe down one. Let's see if that's better. Okay, that looks more natural. So this flips out, and I added the peacock over here. And then this one flips out, and we added that large journal card here with the pocket on top, and you can write on the back. We may need a paper clip. I'm just going to use this one because it's laying right here to kind of help hold it so it doesn't fall out. Yeah, that works. Okay, got a pocket here, and this was an envelope. I had a bunch of one-sided scrapbook papers, and so I glued 2 papers together, and I used the envelope punch board and made a bunch of little envelopes, and then I just took some scrapbook cardstock and cut it into strips to put as little cards in the envelopes. Just really simple. You could add more embellishment to it, but just trying to keep it simple. And then this was using just some scraps and a rubber stamp. Scraps and rubber stamping in the background. And then we put this one over here. Yeah, everyone has to smile thinking about Margie pressing her face against the windows, leaving her nose prints wherever she goes. Thank you, Leah. Thank you so much. I don't know. I thought this turned out really pretty. And this would be pretty in the center of the journal so that when you got to it, you had both sides to look at, even though they're a little bit different, but it's kind of the same. I think the next thing I need to do is just take some of like the mop-up papers and attach them together so that I can make just plain papers to go in between all of these. And I want to cover the old book cover. This is a Bible book cover. I reinforced it a little bit with some packing tape, but I want to cover this with some different white fabrics. So maybe the next live we'll cover this and put the signatures inside of it, because this is going to be so pretty once it's done. All these lovely colors and everything. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you were inspired. Thank you all so very much for being here today, for making me laugh. I wasn't feeling very well this morning. I was telling Henry, I said, I don't feel very good. He says, you'll be all right. You just woke up. And so I did start feeling better. And I appreciate y'all taking the time to come hang out with me while I create. Well, let's see. Y'all do something creative this week. Get in your space. You know, stamp pieces of paper with cats and glue them to your wall. That's your new wall art, right? Get in your space and make something fun and creative. And then let's be kind to those out there. You never know what somebody's going through. You know, share a funny story to make them smile. Send them a note that you're thinking of them. Open the door for somebody else. Whatever it may be. Do something fun and kind for somebody else. And I greatly appreciate you for being here today. I love each and every one of you. May you be blessed beyond measure. And I'll see y'all next week when we work on the cover for this journal. We're almost there. We're almost to the end of seeing this come together. If y'all have any comments or questions after this video, please feel free to leave them below. Y'all have an amazing week. Take care, everybody. Bye.